Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. Getting this thing up and going. Let me make sure our feed's up. But as you can tell by the title of the show, we're gonna kind of pick up in the same kind of the same topic area we've been in. It's just spiritual combat, getting your mind right, the battleground of the mind. And so some of what we're going to talk about today in particular is the actual real-time combat. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on, what to do real time when and hold on, let me I'm gonna share this over here. But yeah, what we're gonna be discussing is just literally what needs to happen real time. Okay. And just generally waging war in the spiritual or in your mind, and how all this goes down, and people who are defeated versus people who are not. You know what I'm saying? And just generally staying in the same area we've been in kind of the past couple lessons in one form or another. But what we're going to do first is we're going to check this news out, man. And we're going to see what's going on, the latest, greatest, up-to-datest, as people come in and tune in. I want to say shalom to all y'all coming on. I see you coming in over there. Yeah, shalom to you, Carrie. Shalom, Edward. Good to see you on there. And let me get this up here. Let's see. All right, so our first story. Let's see. All right. Okay, we just had a update. All right. So the first story is this. It says, defiant preacher admits to COVID-19 symptoms. I tested positive for faith. Brian Carn tells his congregation that if they test positive, they should tell the doctors they go to another church. Whoa. Let me read all the way through this. It says North Carolina preacher Brian Carn was heard on audio recording stating that he had experienced symptoms of the coronavirus, including pain, shakes, and a cough. The 31-year-old preacher failed to wear a mask or any protective covering while conducting services to a packed church on Easter Sunday. Now, look, I'm going to tell y'all this, man. What you got to understand, and I mean, most of y'all already know this, man. But when these churches are doing these services on Sunday, on Easter Sunday, you know, that's their money. That's a big money maker all year is Easter. And Most High hit them. I'm telling you, he hit this whole nation that worships mammonism in their pocket. Okay. And it heard on audio recording stating that he had experienced. So this dude knew he had the virus and came in. He said he had the shakes, the cough, the pain, still had his service because what? They going to get that paper. And they want to put it under the guise of, we are serving Yah. we're dedicated followers of Yah and all this stuff like that. And you see what it's really about, okay? But anyway, the 31-year-old preacher failed to wear a mask or any protective covering while conducting services to a packed church on Sunday. Look, the private audio circulating privately among church members and was later shared with the Daily Mail in a recording where Karn was speaking to a petitioner. He is heard stating that he tested positive for faith, according to the site. Their source also. Let's just listen to the recording, y'all. I might not listen to this whole thing.
More grace, KCC.
Hold on.
I believe I'm talking to Charlotte, Houston, St. Mary's, all of those who are under my covering and my authority, under the rod of my anointing. I feel led to encourage your hearts tonight, to tell you to be of good cheer. I want to say something to you. The message that I preach, I believe it with every fiber of my being. No evil shall befall us. No plague shall come nigh our dwelling. I believe Psalm 91. I believe Isaiah 54:17, that no weapon that is formed against you shall be able to prosper. My question to you is, do you believe it? See, you can't live off my faith. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 4 said, the just shall live by his faith. The question I have to you today, that I'm led to tell you, you can't live off of my faith, but you got to live off of your own faith. There's a time when you build yourself up on your most holy faith. Jude says you do that by praying in the Holy Ghost. Lebo sotola makikandala la casa. That's how you build yourself up. There's an enemy among us, but we must find ourselves in an enormous amount of prayer. And you got to stay in the Word, just like naturally. You know, when you go to the doctor and you have some kind of infection, don't they boost you up with a bunch of antibiotics? Don't they give you a bunch of medicine to keep you built up? Well, that's what you're going to have to do. You can't walk around here believing that it won't get you, and you're not building yourself up in that Word. The Word of God works. And if you believe that, you will have divine exemption. Does the devil fight my body? Of course, just like he fights your body. Did I get the shakes? Yep. Did I cough? Yep. Did I feel pain in my body? Whatever. One brother told me he felt like somebody had jumped him. I felt that. But guess what I did? I pressed through, and I fought through. Now, I told you, if you want to go to the hospital and get checked because you're going through it in your body, go ahead. But don't tell them you go to KCC. Please tell them you go to First Baptist, Elevation, or St. Mattress Methodist Church. Let's fight the good fight of faith. As you know, this Sunday is our big Sunday on giving. My pastor called me today. He's really working on me. And just stay tuned so you can know what we're going to do. As of right now, we have church Sunday morning and Sunday night. But I just want you to hear the Lord and hear the heart of your pastor. Fight the good fight of faith and believe the word of God. No time for television if you're not strong enough right now. Stay in that word. Fight the good fight of faith and hold on to what God has said. The devil fights. Weapons form, but they don't have to prosper. You that are listening under the sound of my voice.
So, man, there's nobody more wicked than a Christian preacher. I mean, because like the conflicting message in there, man, it's like if you're not thoroughly grounded in the word, man, that thing will get you. And that's why you hear me say over and over and over, I'm adamant about it. You will know them by their fruit. You watch how people are moving. Hold on, let me turn this down. You gotta watch how people are moving. You gotta watch their footwork. And you don't have any footwork to watch. You don't have any footwork that you can watch if you don't have a standard. What's the standard? The law, statutes, and commandments. And this, Cause like I mean, and these dudes, like he's speaking pure guile. Like if you want to know what guile is, that's guile right there. Cunning, highly cunning now, manipulative speech. You know, and to me, when that speech sounds so good and sugary and buttery, man, I'm aggressively looking at footwork. I'm like, well, what's this? And we all so he talking about he has the spirit. He's saying he has the spirit of the Most High, but you're celebrating Easter, you know, a pagan holiday. So you see what I'm saying? Right there. And that's how you got to be. No emotions in it. It got to be, you got to be looking at as you move through this life, the way and navigate this. What do you want to call it? As you navigate this terrain, man, you have to be. You gotta be like Neo in the Matrix. It gotta either be a 1 or a 0, no emotion involved. Cause like this dude, he just, I mean, how you just get on there and tell the people you just infected them with the virus? I mean, yo, this dude, man, is that crazy or what? There's nobody more wicked than a Christian pastor, man. So look. Let's see what else. Let's see if they got anything else. It says Karn told his members that while it is okay for church members to go to the hospital if they feel ill, they should not say that they go to his church. Wow. There have been recorded infections and 31 deaths in their county. There have been recorded infections and 31 deaths in Melkin County. And it's the dude right here. Now let's see what he's saying here real quick.
That's right.
So when you get sick, you got family that can pray for you.
Amen.
See, one can only chase 1,000.
Yes.
But two can chase.
So yeah, man. It's sad, man. It's sad. Sad state of affairs. All right, so let's continue. Let's see what else I got here in the news. All right. Let's continue forward. All right. Okay. End time prophecies continue. And what we got here, let me mute it. There we go. Is famine. Okay. Here, I'll rewind this so you can see it. Coronavirus pandemic will cause global famines of biblical proportions, United Nations says. Okay? And you see them fighting over the food. Okay? And it's of pandemic, of biblical proportions. End time prophecy. The pestilence, the famines. All right. You see it playing out. It's just a matter of time before it roll in there. All right. Let's see. Go to my next. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Wars. And look at this. This is big. It says Trump says U.S. will destroy Iranian gunboats harassing U.S. ships. All right. The comments come a week after vessels from Iranian's Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy came close to U.S. ships in the Gulf. So they're going to destroy them, blow them out the water. Okay? It's going to be on and popping. It's going down. All right? So you see that there. Wars and, you know. And then you know who backs Iran, China and Russia. Okay? So let's see what else we got. Let's look through. All right. All right. All right, so check this out. It says Harlem church hit hard by coronavirus, loses 9 members. Okay? And one of the things, you know, and it was controversial. It was controversial when it was said. But one of the things that was said out there was with these churches out here is that a lot of these churches are hard hit, and the reason why is because of the health. Like they were saying, one of the most unhealthy demographics are these black churches. Now that was a controversial thing they put out, but I guess it's because of the diet and what's ate up, and you know, by the you know, that church culture, you know, whatever you want to call it. You know, a lot of unhealthy stuff, a lot of unhealthy food that will compromise your immune system. All right. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's see what we got here. All right. So as with this coronavirus, when you look around, you see these nations and these people who are used to having their freedom, losing their freedom, feeling like we done felt for years. It says Spanish police bust man taking pet fish for a walk in attempt to skirt extreme lockdown rules. Yeah, man, I guess over there in Spain, man, they got these mugs on lock for real. They got them on lock for real. All right. Shalom, Brother Tone. Good to see you in there. Shalom. Shalom to you. Shabbat shalom. All right. Oh, I see what I did here. All right. Hold on. Let me fix this. Need to see what's going on. All right. There we go. Shalom, Brother Ray. Good to see you in there. Eric, Shabbat shalom to you. All right. Let's keep it moving. Somebody said, I have seen some Israelite couples turn on each other because one is fearful and one is faithful. Yeah, man. Hey, check this out. Oh, what you said. Hey, y'all gonna be laughing at this. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I know some of y'all seen this already. Rob Mathis had put this up. He had me dying.
Okay, Dad, you have 2 options. A, staying quarantined in the house with Mom, or B.
B.
Okay, Dad, you have 2 options. A, staying quarantined in the house with Mom, or B.
Hey, my dude didn't even, he didn't even care what B was. But that's funny. But real talk, man, like I said, I've spoke on it in some of my other shows, man. Yeah, this quarantine is, for those who are willing to grow, it's showing people, couples, if they're in a righteous mindset, showing couples who they are, who they, where they need to grow, and forcing them to work through stuff. Like I said, this is prep time. This is preparation time for what's coming. Okay, so yeah, this real. Let's see. All right, so let's see something. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, so this is a big one. This is one to watch. This is one that y'all should watch. You heard it here first. You heard it here early. But Stacey Abrams, she said, I'd be concerned if Biden's vice president pick isn't a woman of color. Okay? So, and I'm going to speak on this a little bit because, like I said, if because they said Biden is also looking at Michelle Obama. If it ain't me personally, I think if it's not Michelle Obama, it's gonna be this lady right here. Okay, Stacey Abrams, and man, if it's her, it's a wrap. He got it. Okay, as far as he got it. And but I'm gonna say this also. I'll put it like this. This is a better way of saying it, a more accurate way. If Biden chooses her as his running mate, it's gonna be an extremely polarized election. And it makes sense for her to get in there because, dude, like, if he gets anybody else, it's really not going to be a distraction to black folks or even people in the Hebrew community. But I'm telling you, he gets her, even a lot of people in the Hebrew community, so-called, they're going to really get sucked into this, when, like I said, because my mother seen me talking about her the last time, and she said I should do research into it. So I did it. I researched into her, and everything that I already thought was confirmed. She's a Democrat. She believes in the genocide of the black race, which is abortion and homosexuality. So she is an enemy, okay? And then on top of that, she's a bad example to our women because she's in, she's in this position of rule. So it's just, it's a sad state. It's the worst case scenario. And I'm telling you, it's just going to be, it's going to suck so many people in who otherwise wouldn't have got sucked into this whole election thing. And like I said, this election, man, if that's who his running mate ends up becoming, man, you watch how violent this election gets. Woo! It's going to be violent, boy. I mean, I already told y'all, there's already been a couple situations. I know down here in Florida, some dude killed his boss because they was arguing over politics. Oh, it's going to be extremely polarized. The closer it gets to the election, the less I'm going to be talking about it. All right. So, yeah, man. That's my educated prediction on how this thing going to play out. All right. Let's keep moving. Let's see what we got here. All right. All right. Coronavirus pandemic will cause. Okay, so we already hit on that. Oh, here go another big one. Which I had to check the date on this one because I thought, me put it right here. It says China rolls out pilot tests of digital currency, milestone for world's biggest central bank in path toward launching electronic payment system. Now, let me see. Yeah, women worshiping is a sickness. Yeah. That's real talk. So look, China rolls out pilot tests of digital currency. Okay? So they're rolling it out. Digital currency. They're putting it out on the scene. All right? It says how China's new cryptocurrency could track money flows, challenge Facebook's Libra. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. I didn't know Facebook had embraced that. But yeah, so there it is. I mean, what else can you say? Because if you want to know who's close to a beast system of controlling people as far as knowing everything they do and just having folks on complete lockdown, China is the model of it. Okay? They are on it. All right. So let's all right. Let me move this. All right. I think I covered this one. And what's the date? 2020, March 13th. Okay. Driverless trucks being tested right now on public roads. 60 Minutes climbs aboard for a look at the very near future of transportation and technology that could eliminate as many as 300,000 jobs. And it's driverless trucks. I did a lesson a while back, about 2 years ago maybe now, about the revolution that's getting ready to happen as far as with computers and stuff like that, and driverless cars and stuff were one of them. But they had everything slated and time to roll out late last year, all the driverless cars. Like they were getting ready to push through it, but there were about 3 or 4 accidents where these cars that they were testing, different people out there, they were pretty far ahead with these driverless cars. They had them driving in cities, and on 3 different occasions, or at least 2 different occasions, these driverless cars hit people and killed them. And they realized how much more computing power they were going to need to get this stuff up and going. So it put a delay on it, to the point where last time I checked, they were saying, well, they didn't know when it was going to be, they were pouring a lot into it because, it's all money driven. But, the way they are, man. This is Babylonian worship. So if they can, they can put they, if there's dollar signs behind it, man, they're gonna push it. So now here's the latest update. They're saying they're still working on it. Okay, so this is something to check out, because now they're saying we believe, we'll be able to do our first driver out demonstration runs on public highways in 2021. And see, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because you figure with inflation and all this other stuff we got popping off, and the automation revolution that we are in full. See, the automation revolution, which I'm gonna be doing a show on that, because that revolution, a lot of people don't realize it's in full swing. It's like as you go to your grocery stores, you look in Walmart, you go to the movie theaters, you see the automation revolution increasing. You see the automation revolution increasing on a continual basis. Okay? The automation, like we go to our grocery store that's right down the street from here, and it's like now they got 4 registers that are automated. We go to Home Depot, they're automated. Couple months ago, me and Corey went to the movies. We're like, well, where you buy the ticket at? They got a bunch of screens up there and one person manning them, where you'd usually have like 3 or 4 people, working the ticket thing. And what it's causing is more and more unemployment. Okay, that's the cause of it. That's what it's causing. But it's a revolution. It's real, and we gotta keep an eye on it, man. So something like this now it's targeting high paying jobs. They talked about some of the hardest hit industries of this automation revolution that's going to be coming. Is going to be believe it or not, medical, particularly the doctor career field, doctors and lawyers. Oh yeah, because lawyers pour through hours and hours of legal documents, and then now they have, so that's getting hard hit by this thing, man. So, like I said, you gotta. It is what it is, man. But it's the automation revolution. Brother Jan Martin, appreciate that contribution. Where are you from? Because it says NOK. I don't even know what that is. Where do you live at, if you could? Because that's some weird type of monetary system there. All right, let's see. All right, so it says driverless trucks being tested right now on public roads. Okay, so that's what's going on. All right, so just keeping an eye out. Just watch that closely. Oh, Norway. Wow, Norway. That kind of reminded me about something else that happened internationally that I caught, and I appreciate that contribution, man. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. That reminds me about something else that happened. There was a mass shooting in Canada recently, okay? A mass shooting out there in Canada. I don't know all the details. I briefly, before I started this show, I might even have it up here somewhere, but I came across something that said that what sparked that was something to do with a relationship or something, okay? So let me see. Let me see what else I got here. I think that's pretty much it for my news updates. I think I got a couple. Trump, okay. I read that. Coronavirus stuff, of course. Again, and like I was saying earlier, end times and how these prophecies they're coming like birth pains is protecting East Africa's food supply. I want y'all to check this out. I want y'all to listen to this closely. But it says this locust, the locust epidemic. You know what I'm saying? They said this thing has spread big time. Okay, so look at this. I want you to listen to what they said. And I'm gonna make this bigger so y'all know I ain't lying to you. They put this here. I put up here on the screen. It says, the good news is that we know how to halt this potential disaster by stopping the locusts now before they breed or migrate again. The United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization is supporting the governments of Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia, as well as others in the region, in a response that involves using planes to conduct aerial spraying and teams of hundreds of people on the ground surveying the land and spraying locusts by vehicle by hand. Hey man, do you trust these nations spraying stuff? But look, these folks, man, they gonna. What are you gonna do? They, you know, and they gonna. It's just sad, you know. So they gonna spray, and who knows what they gonna be spraying? You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna be spraying something. And let's say even if they're legitimately spraying for these locusts, and it actually is stuff to kill the locusts. Guess what? If it's killing the locusts, if it's strong, it's strong enough to kill the locusts, but it won't harm a human. Well, it won't harm. What they're saying is you won't see immediate effects of what we're spraying here. So I'm telling you, y'all, you can't. Hey, man. You can't make this stuff up. Somebody says spraying is completely unnecessary. I say it before greenhouses. I work at a hospital here in Chicago, and they have automated guided vehicles to move packages from shipping dock and even the trash dumpster. Wow. So all those jobs are done away with. And that's what they were saying. Yeah, a lot of the initial jobs are going to be the simple jobs that they paid what? The poor people to do. So like this goes right in line with what I was saying is one of the things that you can say with relative certainty with this pandemic is that the middle class is officially gone. They're non-existent. In the coming months and in about a year or two, all middle class, you're either going to be rich or poor. Okay? Period. And that's why you have to come together with like-minded people, like-minded brothers and sisters. Okay? So let's keep moving forward. Let's see what else we got here. All right. We got, okay, again, another sign of this nation getting weakened is it says, U.S. hits 50,000 deaths. Okay, no, that wasn't it. What this actually was, somehow this article switched, okay? But what it actually was is this right here. U.S. Kidd, another Navy warship at sea, reports a coronavirus outbreak. It says the Navy continues to struggle with coronavirus outbreak aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt, an aircraft carrier that is docked in Guam and has more than 800 confirmed virus cases. Y'all have... Now we're kind of in my department, and I work around a lot of people who've worked on these. They've been in the Navy. They've worked on these ships. They've told me firsthand what life is like on these ships, and they said on these ships, like with they working hard over 12 hours. This ain't like a cruise ship. I mean, it is cramped. There's tons of people cramped into a small spot, moving around, tired, overworked. So disease is like, whoo. And they've talked to me about that. They are on these ships, you know, hygiene. They were saying, because I was in the Air Force, but they were talking about Navy basic training. One of the big things they train you on first is how to wash your hands and all this basic stuff about being clean. Just because the amount of people that's around each other. what all that to say this. When something pops off, the first thing that the president asks is, where are the aircraft carriers, where are the submarines? I'm telling you, man, I'm watching this super close, because you could guarantee our enemies are watching it, or their enemies are watching it super close. This is a big deal right there. That's a big deal, man. Unheard of, in the military. And they're gonna be tight-lipped on that thing, man. They're gonna be tight-lipped, man. All right, so somebody put poor with land then better than rich, and yeah. That's interesting about that hospital being automated, not even in the doctor's positions, but even in the more worker class position. All right, shalom, Sister Deborah. Good to see you in there. She said, I'm gonna come to the boil with these lockdown situations all over the planet. Riots will break out for real. Yeah, man. I love it. Me particularly, But people who are in the world, they like the world, and the things they're like. But me and Koya, Israel, and the children, man, anytime we get a chance to be home, we home. We try to kind of stay away from the general public, generally speaking. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. All right, y'all. That is it for the news headlines. I want to say shalom to everybody. Good to see everybody in there. Shalom to everybody on Facebook. Good to see all y'all tuning in. It's awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the lesson. And this lesson is about the battleground of the mind. Okay? Getting your mind right. All right? You got to get your mind right. That's everything. When you go through and you look at the law, statutes, and commandments, the Levitical priesthood, and just generally speaking, just the whole book and what it's trying to point you to, is trying to point you to getting your mind right. Okay, getting your mind in proper order. So how do you get your mind right? How do you get your mind in proper order? What the battleground of mind, and this here already, because I'm just looking at the scope of these the Bible verses I got up here, and the different facets we gotta look at, and it's probably gonna be another part to this. But this lesson ties into the other lessons that I've been hitting on, kind of spiritual combat based lessons of but what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about this right here, man. And what is this word here? I'm gonna put this word up here. What is that word?
Lust.
The word is lust. Very strong sexual desire. Have a very strong sexual desire for someone, okay? And but I'm gonna even move to this too, because this is gonna be, one of the core, foundational, all-encompassing lessons. It's gonna hit on it all, okay? Let me show you something else. This is a better, now mind you, it's a psychological definition, but the reason I do this is because it explains the feeling and emotions a lot of people are having better than I can articulate it with my limited vocabulary. All right, so you don't hear anything. Let's see. If you don't hear anything, well, first, if y'all can hear me, put a 9. And I know there were some audio spikes because I know some of that stuff I played earlier was a little too loud. But if you can hear me, so you can hear me. So if you can't hear me, what you need to do is close out your browser, or if you're on the phone, close out the program and open the program back up. That's what you need to do. And then you'll be able to hear me, typically. All right? So yeah, let me know how that works for you. All right? Brother Yah saves. Let me know how that works. So anyway, so check this out, y'all. I'm putting this in here because I typically do not like Wikipedia, but sometimes Wikipedia articulates stuff in a way that, I just like the way it's broken down. So look at this. I like this. And I'm a substitute some of the words. It says lust is a psychological force producing intense desire for an object or circumstance, fulfilling the emotion while already having a significant other or amount of desired object. So, but I would say lust is a spiritual force, because it's spiritual and it produces intense desire. So the way I would put it is lust is intense desire. And you can't, and this is something I was talking about that I see on people. All right, let me put where are my notes? Okay. I'm gonna just say it. You can't go on autopilot with your emotions. It's gonna take you in a bad place. A lot of people are diminishing and blemishing because they go on autopilot with their emotions. People are dying over that. Something I was thinking about this morning about how, like, if I hear an old school hip hop song, like some Biggie Smalls or Smith and Wesson, like Black Moon, like the hip hop I used to listen to growing up when I was, in my 20s and stuff. It doesn't do what it does for other people. It takes me back, but I think of, like, during that time when I was in my 20s, y'all, when I was early on in the military, man, my mental makeup, was, I was like, what's wrong? What is this? What's wrong with me? Am I cursed? Like, why am I, I knew that I was off, but I didn't know what was off. And it was like in the Matrix, where it says like a splinter in your mind, and throughout my 20s and my teens and it was through most of my 20s till I said at the age of 26 that I'm a consciously figure this thing out. I just kind of was lost, man. And when I hear a lot of those songs that take me back to that time, and I could think of my mental state then. Now, I like the music, and yeah, just not stuff I want to meditate on. I don't live in the past, man. I'm excited about the future and what's going on now. And I still got a lot of growing to do. I'm not saying I done arrived, I labor daily getting my mind right, but I got the survival scrolls now. I got y'all's word. You know what I'm saying? And let it be true. You know what I'm saying? And I have it in a way where, like I said, the scientific method is provable, observable, repeatable. You could experience it, and it's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So all right. So but lust. We getting ready to get into that. We're gonna be hitting on this thing up on facing lust, facing intense desire for an object or circumstance. we're going to talk about that. Okay? We're going to talk about dealing with that. Because what I watch is a lot of people just on emotional autopilot. They're on spiritual autopilot. Like when their lusts come up, the only thing they know how to do is vent it, is give, is let it have its way. Because what? How do I stop it then? You know, they're not asking these questions. So we're gonna hit on this thing. All right, it's a rubber meet the road type situation. I'm why do I think I'm qualified to speak on something like this? Because I'm gonna tell you what happened to me to shape me and to really make me to a point where I can let go of anything. Okay, anything. The death I saw growing up, the damage I seen, not being able to deal with intense desire for objects and circumstances. Okay, the even in my own life, my experience with, not being, dealing with these intense desires and circumstances, and then looking into society. This is the reason why I bang on this so hard. When I look at society, I see the same thing. I see people in society. I see the landmines and traps set up for you to desire, to have an intense desire for objects and circumstances that are unrighteous. And I just watch people get destroyed left and right, take the bait and fall for it. Especially in a mammonistic society. We live in a society, the God of this society is mammonism. That's why I know this COVID-19 thing is from Yah, because it couldn't have hit and been more targeted. They're like, Yah took out the pork industry. He killed their Easter celebration. Okay? They most mammonistic holiday of the abominable church. He hit it. He smacked it right between the running lights. He banged on that thing. He hit folks in their pockets, And if you don't have money, what else is there? That's it. And these people are going crazy to the point where, have y'all seen on the news where the guy in Texas, he was like, hey, we got to get this economy started. And some people got to die. They just going to have to die. But we got to get this paper flowing. That's what he's saying. He on some, which rapper say get rich or die trying? 50 Cent. He been listening to 50 Cent. Get rich or die trying. That thing. Mammonism of death. Like they after that paper, man. Because the Most High hit them in that paper. A couple of these the one pastor in Virginia died. He said, we gonna have all set. I don't care what the government say or no coronavirus. We doing our Sabbath service. I regret to inform you, Pastor so-and-so has passed away. This, that, and the other. Okay. Man, this thing, you can't see this book. Okay. So look, lust. We're going to get on this lust, man. That when that emotion come up, when I face lust, a spirit of pornography and masturbation lust head on, And I'm telling you, man, you need power from on high. You need deliverance from a lot of these lusts. You're going to need it. Okay? All right. Sir General, he put social distancing shut down the strip clubs. Yeah. It shut down all this wickedness. It said get in your house and turn back to your family. That's what this thing said. And people can't stand it. Y'all seen the thing I posted there? People don't like but that's the idea of a mammonistic society. They got to have this society set up This society has to be set up for you to be a consumer. Consumerism, commercialism. In a capital, if you study capitalism, which is part of the beast system, but capitalism and commercialism, corporate and all that, the whole setup is for you. You gotta want. You gotta feel like you need. And what's that? What is that? That's that verse in Colossians. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on. Check this out, y'all. If I could get this, hold on, I'm gonna pull the verse up, and I'm gonna show y'all something deep, because it ties right into this lesson. All right, y'all know I always pull this verse up here, Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. But look what it says: mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. If you look at most 99% of men's issues, men and women alike, is the fact that they can't sit in an empty room. You could boil their issues down to that. Literally. But look at this. Covetousness, and it's telling you all this stuff here is idolatry. Okay? But how is covetousness idolatry? Look at the definition of it. Look at the definition of this right here. A greedy, acquisitive, grasping, I'm not sure what that word is, mean having or showing a strong desire for especially material possessions. Now check this out. Commercialism, I think that's what it is emphasis on maximizing private practice and attitudes that are concerned with making of profit at the expense of quality. If you look at capitalism and you just go into a study and you look at commercialism, and in order to make a profit, you have to be selling stuff. In order to sell stuff, what do you have to do? You got to advertise. You got to make people feel inadequate. A lot of these commercials are manipulative, and they make people feel inadequate if they don't have it. So if you turn on commercials now, there's a lot of psychology of lust involved in it to make you feel like you are inadequate if you don't have it. And that is modern day idolatry. These commercials that you see on television are modern day idolatry. It's idolatrous worship. It's when you tie the commercials in with the music industry and the media industry, and oh, this woman dresses this way, or this person got this and look like that and got this, and I need that. You know, you want to know what I desire? I desire to just enjoy nature and be out there and enjoy what y'all done put out here, watching his plants grow and being outside and breathing air and just enjoying the ancient ways, you know, not I gotta have the fancy as this, the fancy as that. You see what I'm saying? Lust, diverse lust. So let's get in this. Because this scripture popped up. I didn't put this scripture in my thing, but let's define all these words. A lot of y'all who followed me for exactly, Koya put simplicity. Simplicity. You know, instead of all this brainwashing, man. If you look at, it's sad, man. You look at the modern day female rapper, and she's, for whatever reason, she literally looks like a white girl. Like, look at Lil' Kim. That's a good example. You know, for those of y'all who used to follow hip hop, because I don't know any of the new rappers, like, and now they want to be men, a lot of them. But anyway, I'm gonna hit that too, Jan. I'm gonna hit that too, because that's another one. Look, the modern day female rapper looks like a white woman. She got long blonde hair or some other crazy weird color. They're lightening their skin. I heard in Jamaica, and one of the main things they're selling out of is lotion that lightens your skin. They don't want what Yah gives them. They want what this beast system gives them. And this beast system exploits you. They make you on a board it, because Jan Martin put that in there. Let's hit on that with these abortions. They make you feel like the most precious thing, your seed, the most treasured thing. You see it all through the book. Well, they tell you that's a burden. Yeah, family planning, and they got all these silly, subtle sounding names that they give it. Family planning, this, that, and the other. To kill your seed. For what? For mammon worship. To sacrifice your child to Molech, in a way. In order to what? For filthy lucre, for money. I work this job. I got this career. I'm a career woman. I ain't got time for children right now. This, that, and the other. And we know the health ramifications on that thing. So it's like, man, that's the God of this world. You cannot serve Yah and Mammon. And it's like it's becoming clearer and clearer that if you understand how nature works, like, think about this. If I got a forest, a huge forest behind my house. If I thoroughly understood that forest on a high level, I would have no need of anything this beast system puts out. And I'd probably be more well off back there. Ain't no probably, I would be. Because see, the Most High has provided everything for us. The Most High has provided it all for us. That's why we are returning to the ancient ways in every way, shape, or form. Me and Coy up in here, we do an ancient ways audit all the time of things. How could we get more in tune with what Yah got here? Like even with the gardening, putting wood chips over everything, mimicking how the forest grows. Because that big ass tree in the forest, nobody was fertilizing it and watering it and doing nothing like that. So how could we mimic what Yah has set up in every way, shape, or form? And the place to start with that, now we do it in our lives here, but the place to start with that is in your mind. Because if you led away by every diverse lust and you lusty, they gonna have your way. So the first thing, getting these spirits off you. And money is the big one, That's the first thing that gets us off track. And if you think about it, dude, the more you can live off what Yah provided, the more you can live off nature. Like if you truly, for instance, if I truly got this forest understood, and we're trying to do it while we're here. We're learning. We got our foraging books. Let me give a shout out to a brother who really helped me out on one of my videos. I'm gonna get his name. There's a couple people. There's a guy, Philip, brother Philip. Shout out to brother Philip, man. He put a lot of preparedness stuff in there for me on books I could get for wild foraging. Because if you really get this thing down correctly and know them woods real good, you really won't need as big of a garden. All right, thank you, appreciate it. And this is nettles also. Yes. Awesome. All right. Hey, Coy. Oh, never mind. I'm good. All right. So yeah. So you really won't. Your workload will be significantly less, the more. So just in every way seeking the ancient ways. All right. So let's see. I want land, not money. Me too. Me too. I want to be out in a rural area, um, and I want to because just doing our research. Because all right, let me say this real fast, and this is a little off topic, but we getting ready to get back on top. But yeah, what we noticed, like we live here in Florida, and we got stuff growing around our house, and what we did, we watched a wild foraging video for the southeast for this region. And we were like, man, they putting these plants up. We're like, wait, we seen that growing all down the middle of the road, like the island in the middle of the road. We seen that growing everywhere. And, and then we seen another plant that's growing right out in front of the house. You know, and they're showing us all these plants. And one plant got this big, huge taproot that's so nutritious. And it's like, dang, it's like all this. We see some berries growing around here near our house. We trying to figure out what they are. But it's like, man, this stuff's right here. We killing dandelions, but dandelions is like the most insane nutrient dense thing you could have. And we got all this stuff right here. We didn't even have to plant it. So it's like, man, we need to just begin to observe what's around us closer and get in tune with what Yah gave us, and not and differentiate what this beast system gives us, because we've seen that everything this beast system gives us is wicked as hell. But the first step is this. It says, Colossians chapter 3, verse 5, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth from fornication. And fornication is unlawful sex. Okay? Being a one-handed internet bandit could fall under that. Uncleanliness, inordinate affection. You know, I teach on this when I do my love breakdown. Evil concupiscence and covetousness, which is lust. So inordinate affection, y'all know what affection is. I'm going to show y'all, for those of y'all who haven't seen my breakdown on this before, because I know I do this. I try to do this on a regular so people understand. Inordinate, unusually or disproportionately large, excessive. And then, for the sake of those, and then affection, check this out, is, come on, work with me. So look at this. Affection is, hey, let him outside. A gentle feeling of fondness or liking. So, the definition would be unusually or disproportionately large, excessive liking or fondness. It's excessive though. And guess what that is? Check this out. Look at this. If I spell that right. I'm just trying to type fast. Definite love, an intense feeling of deep affection. So the world's definition of love, you see it right here. I just broke it down right in front of you. The world's definition of love, an intense feeling of deep affection, is the Bible's definition of lust and idolatry and sin. This is why a lot of people screw up in their relationships. This is why a lot of people put women on pedestals. This is why a lot of women destroy themselves by choosing the wrong men, because they let inordinate affection choose their mate and guide them instead, and they get into inordinate affection. It's telling to kill your members from getting in this mindset where your emotions are just out of this world. So look at this. It says a gentle feeling of fondness. That's affection. So, and I'm just going through it again. Unusually or disproportionately large, excessive fondness or liking. And then love was an intense feeling of deep affection. The same thing. So what you're being deceived into thinking is love is actually what Colossians chapter 3 verse 5 tells you to fight against and not do. So a lot of people don't realize that when you feel your emotions go off into the stratosphere zone, you're in sin. That's why I said a lot of these people watchers, you see them getting attracted or they're obsessive about a person, place, thing, or circumstance, and it's not of Yah, because you're supposed to have an inordinate affection for Yah and his ways, not for people, places, things, circumstances. Okay? And you gotta, this is why, like, I do lessons and I teach on an aspect when you're dealing with these women in relationships that these other, like I said, I've been getting the jabs thrown at me from these other organizations out here. We've been seeing stuff. I ain't gonna speak on it, but it's like they don't like when you speak against their God. Michael, why are you saying I'm speaking against their God? Because it's saying these types of behaviors right here, which is idolatry, covetousness, concupiscence, evil conceit, inordinate affection, is insane loving and liking for, you see there's Hebrew groups out there, it's obvious women are their gods. They're not, it's obvious lust is their God because they ain't dealing with it, y'all. And it's like when you speak on that God, man, they come against you vehemently. Okay? They come against you hard. All right? It's not a game. It's not a game. Okay? All right. So, I just wanted to hit on that. Y'all put a 100 up in there. Y'all put a 100 up in there if you get what I'm saying. Let me see. Hold on one second. Take a sip. All right, let me check over here. One sec. All right. Let me see. Oh. My feed went down. And my phone wasn't adjusted right. All right. Oh, come on. Why are you being difficult, phone? Okay, there we go. We back up. So I can see what y'all saying. All right, y'all put a 100 up in there. That's what's up. All right, so something I tell people, man, is waging this war. You gotta feel good. Like I'm gonna go back. I gotta go right back to what I keep saying. Being on spiritual autopilot and carnal autopilot. The people who are defeated and wrestling with lust and really getting, their asses handed to them are people who are on autopilot for whatever reason, whether it's because of fear, whether it's just because of ignorance. They don't realize that they need to actually look at what's going on in their head and step back and realize, like, where'd that thought come from? Because a lot of y'all, if I could listen to your head and the stuff that pops up in there, y'all would be like, ooh, I wouldn't want you to hear the shit that pops up in my head, but I don't run with it. A lot of people, you could tell, you could see, just from me doing this type of work, I sit there and watch people. I'm like, man, he listening to whatever the hell pop up in his head. He just running with that thing. He not putting it through a filter. He ain't scrutinizing it. It just pop up in his head and he go with it. And why are they doing that? Because a lot of people don't understand the fight. And it's not I'm gonna just resist it. Like sometimes you're not feel like this stuff is able to go on because you're not feeling good. There's something going on. I'm telling you, this is so real. Like if you're tired and worn out and not feeling good, you're not gonna feel like fighting. Like how we had SABC, I forget what the class was, chem warfare class in the military, and they train us on biological and chemical warfare. And chemical warfare is no joke. Chem warfare, they got nerve agents, blood agents, and blister agents. Choose one. You ain't going to be able to, because they all are horrible. The nerve agent will cause you to convulse until you break all your bones. And then you're going to, eventually your heart going to stop. The blister agent, you're going to get blisters all on the outside, painful blisters on the outside of your body and on the inside. And the blood agent, you're going to just bleed out of everything. But the biological part of our warfare training, they were just showing us how if you don't feel good, you ain't going to fight good. Then I showed you last week on my health thing, I showed you where it said, it talks about cholera, where if you're eating incorrectly and unhealthy, it's going to cause what it calls cholera. You're going to be irritable. You're not going to be feeling good. With a lot of this stuff, the first step is you got to feel good. I'm saying it again. If you look at that stuff that Brother Yaquis putting out now about, he is a Hebrew doctor, and he shared some of his stuff where he's showing how to eat to live. He's showing how to use what Yah has provided as a powerful, more powerful than anything they got in this wicked beast system, to powerfully and quickly fix your health, whether you're overweight, whether you struggle with mental issues. Like, he's been bringing out some insane stuff, showing what a lot of these mental issues are and how to hit it and effectively change it. Because you got a lot of our people, man, it's just bad. A lot of their issues is just poor health. And the Bible confirms what I'm saying, where if you're living an unhealthy lifestyle, it's going to affect, if you're eating unhealthy and all that stuff, it's going to greatly affect you, because they are poisoning you through this food. Clearly, this isn't nothing crazy. So the first step for a lot of people, man, is, man, they diet, man. They got to get, and I'm telling you, you know, the Most High done given Yaqui that mantle on diet, on how powerful it is. And I'm not just saying this because his videos sound good. I went out and did what he is saying and experienced it. And on some occasions, immediate results. Anyway, let's keep it moving. All right. But you got to be ready to fight. Let me ask y'all something, man. I got to ask y'all something. Y'all give me a yes or no answer in the comments. Does the U.S. Army, when soldiers come in to fight, when people sign up for the U.S. Army, they say, hey, I want to go in the Army. They sign up for infantry or whatever. Do they put them in a class and teach them and have them read and study on how to fight and then send them into combat? Or do they get them trained up in every way, shape, or form first? Particularly, what's the first thing they do? Don't they train them up physically first? And then later on, after basic, after they whip them into shape, then I guess they go, y'all who've been in the Army, I was in the Air Force. I know y'all clown me on that. But even in the Air Force, first, it's immediately, as soon as you hit the ground, it's physical training to get you in shape, feed you correctly, and get you in order. Then they build you up. Then they, later on, they teach you the tactics and the finer stuff on how to fight. But you got to be feeling decent first, you know? And the first step in that is, I'm jumping around, but now we're going to really get it all the way down to the nitty gritty and break it down, break this thing down. We're going to break down what I'm talking about in the actionable steps. Step 1 is praying. You got to ask, a lot of y'all got to ask y'all to make you want to get your mind right. Like some people, That's a prayer. Yah, give me the desire to want to get my mind right, get things in order, and then begin working on it. How you going to work? How you going to know what to work on? You got to know what the standard is. Read the book. Like, that's why I showed you some of these verses like this one. You're going to study the word. Because if you don't know what the standard is, if you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing, if you don't have any understanding of that, then what's the point? You're going to just be misled. And then begin meeting the standard. And what you're going to find when you try to meet the standard, you're going to meet at some point, you're going to run into spirits. And you're going to need power from on high. This is the same line. When I went through my situation, this is what I went through. Now, you got brothers who can labor with you to help get spirits off you. Because some of this stuff, what you're going to find, this is why a lot of people, they make excuses, they'll quit, they'll stop trying, and they won't focus on the thing because they're like, well, I just couldn't do that. So they'll come up with some clever excuse of why they ain't growing. And they call that deliverance, getting spirits cast off you. All right? At the same time, diet comes in big time too. If they're you're saying, hey, I want to get this right, but you're sitting there poisoning yourself. Hey, I keep wrestling with this, that, and the other. Yeah, but that's poison that you're eating. It will affect you in that way, Sometimes that is the missing, and I'll even move to say this, the book talks about how the book, science, whatever you want to look at, confirms that, look, you got to be moving. The Bible tells you don't be lazy. Don't be sitting around all the time. Be active. Be engaged. You see what I'm saying? Returning to the ancient ways requires a lot of activity. You ain't going to return to the ancient ways watching YouTube videos all day, spiritual combat videos, This is big. All right? Yeah, so, being active. So what I'm saying, because what I see, a lot of people are just, you want the easy, quick thing, so you're just going to focus on one thing. When this book, the Bible, the way I explain the Bible to them is, hey, this is a perfect culture. This culture shows you how to provide food for yourself, how to raise your family. It's psychological. So if you got a psychological issue, you don't go down there to the doctor or whatever the hell. You look in this book. It shows you how to deal with psychological issues. Okay? Everything. It is your lifestyle book. Okay? It's your manual for living. A lot of people would just go at it from one angle and not as a lifestyle. Christianity don't even go at it at all. But you can't focus on one specific area and neglect the others, or there's going to be a false balance. It's going to be lopsided. So that's why I say I'm constantly doing, and a better way to say it is a biblical audit of my lifestyle. And how can it be more in tune with the book? And what you find, it is really not that complicated. I mean, this thing shows you how to deal with people with supervision, with people at your job, anything, you name it. How to deal with issues in your marriage, all that, it's there, okay? Somebody said, can diet affect bad spirits? Yeah, it ties in. Think about, and I'm going to go on some extreme levels. If you eat pork for breakfast, lunch, dinner, then you start feeling weird and you can't concentrate, and you find out there's parasites in your brain eating your head up and you ain't feeling right. You see? So, you know, if you eat mushrooms that cause you to hallucinate, you're going to get some spirits on you, you know? But it all ties in. There's a spirit that comes on you when you've been consuming too much sugar. There's a spirit of addiction to it that comes on you. You know, the crackhead, when he get crack, most of the time, the first time, a spirit possesses him. Okay, so yeah, there's spirits behind the stuff you eat and things you do. Yeah, I mean, it all ties in. You know, and that's why I said you can't be on autopilot doing things. You got to be looking at your lifestyle. You got to be looking at what's going on with you and aligning it with this book. I mean, and this ain't complicated. You read through the book and it's telling you, it covers every aspect of life. Okay? So let's see. All right. What time? Okay, we got time. We good. All right. What we gonna do? All right, Battleground of the Mind. That's where it's going now. That's where you're gonna know. I mean, you know, a lot of y'all, it behoove y'all to change your diet and just drop certain things and eat less. You know, like that scripture I read before. It said, your God is your belly. It said in those times people would be overcome with surfeiting, overeating. That's something you got to look at. And when you can't stop doing it, you're going to need deliverance. You need to get that spirit cast off you. And that spirit is widespread. You see people like, well, you know what? The Most High understand, and that fool going to kill them. That spirit of surfeiting, you know? So yeah, so again, can diet affect bad spirits? No, spirits affect your diet. Hey man, these people doing high level witchcraft on this thing. Okay? So yeah, man. Some of this stuff like that. Hey, look. One of the brothers was telling me, I think a brother from South Florida, he was telling me how these people, they did an experiment. They were giving a rat crack, and then they gave the rat sugar water. Then they gave the rat a choice of which one it wanted, and it would go for the sugar water, okay, over the crack. And then he was also saying in that scientific experiment, that's how they came up, or the program it was operated under, that's how they came up with the name hood rat. So that it was interesting. But absolutely. Multiple people said, man, sugar, and I'm talking about like cane sugar, is more addictive than heroin and stuff like that. That's sorcery. So that ties in. Somebody put Philippians 3:19. Let me see what that is real quick. Next time, if y'all put a verse, put the text in there with it. So that way I ain't gotta, it won't take me as long to look up. All right, yep. Oh, he put the verse that I was quoting in there. Okay. All right. Let me bring it up here. Let me see if I get it. KJ. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna read through that real quick. So y'all know I'm not just, you know. All right, where are we at? Here it is right here. Put it up here on the screen. That's what I'm saying. This is the this is the way. This is the elephant in the room type stuff. Who's in this destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. So in your belly also takes on, you just want to get what you could get. It's the capitalism, mammonistic lifestyle. And capitalism is basically, when you look up what it is, this American system is survival of the fittest. All right? That's basically what it is. The Hebraic lifestyle, if you can look over Karl Marx, because that's where he developed communism off of, is the Hebraic lifestyle, where everybody's provided for. But the only way that type of communistic, or otherwise known as socialistic, I think socialism is the first step towards communism, and they brainwash us into thinking that that's the evilest word on earth. But it's just everybody has equal. They have all things in common. But the only way that works is if there's a high moral standard. If there's laziness, it doesn't work. Okay? Anyway, I used to be hooked on Starbucks caramel Ribbon Frappuccinos. Oh, okay. So Koya said she used to be hooked on that. Yeah, them things, man. That man must be like, hey, some of this stuff they got out here for you to eat is like crack. Like, dudes will eat it, and it's damn near as destructive, you know. And a lot of people, a fruit diet, like like yesterday, my breakfast was blueberries. My lunch was blueberries and I think an apple, and then my dinner was just a regular dinner. You know, I'm not fully there yet, but it works, man. Your energy is a lot better. Okay? Let's see. Shalom to you, Mika Yah. Good to see you in there. Good to see you in there. All right. Let's see. Somebody said white chocolate macchiato. Yeah, I never had a big thing for any of that stuff at Starbucks. My thing is the carrot cake from Publix. That's my thing. But once you start eating this fruit the right way, it kills that sugar craving, because it's a healthy, natural sugar, you know? Yep. Yeah, I had to buy another little bitty fridge. We bought a little bitty fridge so we could, you know, store our stuff, man. We can ready to get after this thing. Once we get it all the way learned, we're going to do this thing. You'll see a change, man. You see old Michael Israel finally lose some weight for real, you know. And I know I don't look fat, but I know I'm over my normal weight. I think I'm supposed to be around like 180, 190. But I'm like at 220 or something, you know. All right, so anyway, let's keep moving forward. Somebody said, I have been buying raw sugar cane for my prep. Is that better or still as bad? Yeah, I do not think sugar cane is healthy for you. Now, like I said, I have to look in it, but I don't mess with it. Like, there's plenty of other ways of good stuff to have, you know. But like what I've been learning, now what we use in place of sugar, like when I make lemonade, we use stevia, and that's from a plant. Okay. So yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see what else I got here for y'all. And this is early. We're gonna get a part 2 on this right here. Probably 3 and 4. That's why I'm going through it nice and slow. So check this out. Nope, that's not it. There we are. All right, so here we go. It says, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and entice. Then, when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. So it's almost like a seed, and when you act on it, all right, it's like when you water it and plant it, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. So it's like, man, you gotta look at what's going on in your head. You gotta. It says bringing every thought into the captivity according to the word of Yah. And I know I didn't quote that perfectly, but you understand what I'm saying, okay? You bring every thought into the captive. You have to look at what pops up in your head, and if you're prideful, you're not gonna be able to do it. That's why pride is like a block. Oh, I can't be that bad, and you're not analyzing your thoughts. And a lot of knowing where to start, just start at the biggest issue in your life. But it takes humility to realize, because if you got pride, you're like, oh, well, I really don't got issues, But that's, so if that's what's popping up, if you're saying to that, well, I really don't got no big issues, well, then it's pride. Then pride's where you need to start. And just start watching the thoughts that are popping up in your head. And you'll see thoughts pop in your head that ain't you. It's come from the spirit world. Spirit's throwing stuff up in there. And a lot of times it's going to require deliverance. Getting your mind right, All right, so let's see. All right. Yeah, honey's real good. Yep. Honey's real good. Shalom, Sister Lillian. Good to see you in there. Yeah, honey is a good one. Honey's good to get. Let's see. Koya listed some good sweeteners, some healthy sweeteners that actually benefit you. Stevia, agave nectar, or honey. Okay? So yeah. That's what we talking about. All right, let's move forward. Let's see if I got anything else. We got that Galatians. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Okay? And like I said, if I put on with that pastor, a lot of y'all didn't see that, but earlier in the news, I was showing where there's a pastor of some Christian church, and man, this dude's manipulative, cunning guile that he speaks, cunning, manipulative speech is high level. You could tell he's a wizard, and you could hear him. He was talking. He was like, "Yeah, I came to church. Yeah, I was coughing. I had the chills. My body was hurting." But I'm not declaring the coronavirus. He was like, and if you go get tested, don't tell them you from this church, and just manipulating the people, and said, hey, he don't care. He having his Easter service because he going translation. I don't care. I'm getting this paper. I don't care if I got the coronavirus and the government tell me not to get this paper. I'm getting this paper because Easter their biggest day, But if you're not grounded, if you don't truly understand these scripts, they're going to quote a scripture like this to you. They're going to say, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And they're going to have you thinking that they walk around, acting and talking some type of way. And they're going to turn that word spirit into some vague word. But how do you walk in the spirit so you don't fulfill the lust of the flesh? You walk in what this book say. You do what the book say. And if you can't walk in the spirit and according to what the book say, the Holy Spirit say, what it's telling, the Holy Spirit is saying, hey, don't do this. Hey, this is going against what's written. And it's whispering, and you can't walk in that, then you probably got evil spirits or lusty flesh. But this thing got to be made real plain, no ambiguity, no guile speech. The book tells you what to do what the book says. If you're wrestling to do what the book says, you got spirits on you. You work through it. Do what you need to do. Like I said, a lot of y'all need deliverance. Y'all need spirits cast off you. It's real talk. It's real combat. And you'll see. A lot of y'all see. Because a lot of people are like, oh, no, I ain't got spirits on me. And then, okay, well, then stop doing it. Okay. And then at some point, you're going to see. Because I know, hey, I'm telling you, man, when I realized that when I was dealing with pornography addiction, and as I was pressing in hard into this truth, and I realized what it was, it freaked me out. But a lot of people, man, I'm telling you, I done seen people realize they got spirits on them in deliverance and just be cool with it. Like, oh yeah, you know, I was like, okay, well, you in covenant with that spirit. I like, get away from my ass. That's just real ass talk, man. It's like you gotta, a lot of people need to pray for a desire to serve Yah. You know what I'm saying? They gotta pray for that. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. But you have to, there has to be a desire there, you know? Oh no, it's just a thorn in my flesh. Dude, if it was that many thorns in the flesh, you would bleed to death, you know, because you look like a porcupine. You got so many thorns in the flesh, you know. It ain't that. Nah, you need to get your mind right. All right? Put a 100 up in there if you get what old Michael Israel saying, man. This thing ain't complicated. People make it complicated. All right? Like when you want, like I said in the other lesson, when you want these spirits off you like you want to breathe, that's when you're going to really begin to grow. Brother Benjamin put that big old 100 in there. So yeah, man, this is the, you see the battlefield is in your mind. The first step is not letting you get on the, you know, not making you think this is a battlefield. So somebody put, you right, in this movement, there are a lot of Hebrew brothers who are possessed with spirits of anger, cussing, and calling brothers names. I ain't gonna say cursing and name calling. Sometimes, man, because I look, I get on here and sometimes people need to be called names. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, Christ called names. And look, Christ got angry and flipped tables up. Like, anger is, see, and this is, and I understand what you're saying because I've seen groups and camps and stuff out there where, like, I've actually watched camp videos early on where they went out there purposely to provoke people to fight them and stuff because they got a spirit of maliciousness. I understand that. But what you got to understand, and I think you understand what I'm saying. I'm talking with what gets brought out against me sometimes. Even lately, there's some stuff that's been brought out against me with some of these, you know, Catholic Hebrew groups. It's going down now. I just tune it out. But look, I'm going to tell you. One of the scriptures people get messed up, it says, be angry and sin not. Don't let the sun go down on, not your anger, it says on your wrath. And wrath is when it's anger that you acting out where it takes you over and you putting hands on people and doing all this stuff. But the precept to back that up with, or to prove what I'm saying, where anger is not a sin, is Christ got angry at the money changers. And he acted on that anger in a righteous way. It turns into wrath when you're acting on that in an unrighteous way. But some of these Gaithers, Transformers, and Catholic Hebrews, they gotta get called out on their stuff. But our people hate rebuke and correction. All right. So let me see what you got. I call these devils, abortion ladies wicked. Yep. I say on restaurant. I'm not sure what you got there. I have more respect for the whore than a woman that takes abort. Heck yeah. Like these, hey, listen, man, if you come on here talking about multiple wives and women being in order, they will paint you as the scourge and the wickedest people in the Hebrew Israelite community, you know? And that's biblical. Like, we could book all that stuff. But yet, none of them talk about abortion and all the wickedness that is obviously evil, that's going on. The murder. Nobody's speaking on that thing. It's because they're about that paper and female worship. All right, a wise man loves correction. That's right. Big old facts. Catholic Hebrews, you put a question mark? Yeah. Catholic Hebrew are these Hebrews out here that unknowingly got Catholic thought. They worship women. They speak sugary things. They really don't teach the culture of the book. They're just kind of Christian churches rehash knowing that they're Hebrews. That's the only difference. Other than that, they do the same Christian church things. Christian speak, Christian manipulation. You know what I'm saying? They're after money, like the abominable church is. The abominable church is only about money and paper and that control. Brother Josh said, great job breaking anger and wrath down to the nuts and bolts, Brother Mike. Yeah. And this is the other thing. Let me do that. Let me back up what I said real quick, Brother Josh. I'm glad you put that in there. Is even if you look it up, if you look up the definition, I'm going to show y'all something. Basically, anger is wrath. Hold on. Forceful. Is here, this is a good, here, I put this one up on the screen so you can see what I mean. Because they wouldn't have put anger, it said be angry. It said you can be angry, but don't sin. What? Don't transgress the law because you're angry. Okay? So it said be angry and sin not. And it tells you what that is. When you're angry and then you transgress the law, it tells you that that's wrath. And that backs up this definition right here. It says, here we go. This is a good definition. Bam. It says, it says wrath. Any action carried out in great anger for punishment or vengeance. Okay? Now, if you get angry, this is what happens. If you see sin going on, oops, that was an old title from the other show. I didn't change it. Okay. If you see sin going on and it makes you angry and you rebuke somebody with a strong rebuke and you're angry while you rebuke somebody, that's not sin. That's just a strong rebuke. So when you go and what's the proof backing that up? Look at Christ. When the Muslims was transgressing the money changers, he got angry and he corrected it. But Christian Hebrews would say, oh, they wrathful, they sinning. It said be angry and sin not. Bro, they just see your sin and your folly and they coming on you, banging on you with it, and it don't feel good. So it violated the idolatrous God of your emotions. See, that's what you got going on. So that's what you got to discern and look at. So that you got to stay focused on that. You got to stay locked in. Because it tells you the whole duty of man is what? Keep the commandments. And then he went down and made it even more with no wiggle room. He sat there and told you, he said, upon these two laws hang everything, the law and the prophets. He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. The way you're going to do that is keeping Torah, the first 5 books, right? And then he said, love your brother as you love yourself. Selflessness. Literally, there's no purer way to show that you have no ties to this world or pride or knowledge or any of this other stuff. There's no other greater way to show, hey, you just... All right. Here we go. We know he not watching the show. So there's no greater way to show that you are separated from your flesh is by being selfless. So the thing, it ain't complicated. What's complicated is wiggling around it and trying to make it something else. But it's just, it says the whole duty is just book like that. So yeah. All right. Put a 100 up in there if you understand where I'm coming from on this thing. Whoops. All right, let me hit this. Bam. Okay. So yeah, we gonna, hold on. There we go. Yeah, I got all types of screens up here today. All right. These are, let's see. All right. All righty. Okay. All right. Yeah, when you look at, I see you putting in, brother put in about the other books. He's talking about the Book of Mormons and these other books. But what I'm telling you, salvation, making it in the kingdom, it ain't, what you're going to find, when you study all these other books, it doesn't matter. He told us to keep Torah. You know what I'm saying? So you could have somebody who got all these other books and then found all the other texts and everything else out there that's out there. But he said, Lord, have I not cast out spirits and did this in your name? And he said, he's going to say to them, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. So it's about your works. And what are the works? Torah, first 5 books. Are you walking them out? The law, statutes, commandments. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole duty of man, is to keep the commandments. You see what I'm saying? It's not complicated. Now, if you want to do your study and study things, yeah, but you're supposed to meditate on the word day and night. Meditate on Torah, on his law, statutes, commandments, day and night. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. It's not complicated. And I'm telling you this because in my years of being in this Hebrew Israelite truth, I have met people who know the book, you know, better than most. There's some people I met, you understand? But you can have the whole entire Bible memorized. And hey, look, let me ask you this, okay? When King David went down to fight Goliath, Most High was dealing with Israel directly. They knew it all. But guess what? The whole nation lacked faith, and they were up on the hill. Um, you talk about King Solomon. He knew it all. But what? He let other gods try. It's that lust of the heart. Let's get even more modern. Let's go to Judas. He was rolling with Christ. He rolling with Christ. Watching the miracles, y'all. He knew all the books. Matter of fact, if Judas was around today, a lot of y'all be following him and trying to pick his brain for knowledge and stuff like that. But what happened to him? The whole duty of man is to keep the commandments. Period. Point blank in the story. I'm serious. It's hard to get. You ain't getting around that. There ain't no wiggle room on that. Now, if you want to, you could research around and all that, but the book of Moses, y'all understand? Let me know if y'all understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, somebody with Foundation said something we did in the Christian church was memorize and regurgitate. And what they're trying to do, it's not a bad thing, but it ain't the key thing. The reason they try to get you to memorize the stuff is hopefully to get you to meditate on it and really consider. But you got to take it into your heart and actually have a desire to do it. Sometimes you need deliverance and you got to pray from power on high to have a desire to do the thing. All right? Let's see. Same thing Mashiach got on to all the apostles about lack of faith. Yeah. So if you study about the Pharisees and stuff like that and the Sadducees and stuff, but if you study about them, like Paul had Torah memorized. He had the whole Torah memorized. And they didn't have the 66 books or the law and the prophets. That's not what they had. They had a library. You see what I'm saying? But Paul was still out there murking people. Okay? Paul was out there murking cats. He was out there killing folks. So you see what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. That's why, hey, look, I too, old Michael Israel, back when I first came to this thing, I was like, well, okay, I'm in here. And now I know I'm a Hebrew. What do I do now? And I'm looking around. Hey, what do I need to do? Trying to figure this thing out. And I'm looking, oh, okay. I guess I got to get knowledge. So I did. I got knowledge. I studied I done studied some deep stuff. Just Torah and Hebrew. And heavy stuff in the book. All to find out, oh no, you would spend the rest of your life just trying to get the surface stuff of the Bible, walking that out and bearing fruit on the surface things that are in the book. Okay? That will consume your whole life right there. Yeah. So yeah, man. Hey, shalom, brother Ray. Good to see you in there, man. Same thing. Shit got on. Yeah. Cornelius, he over here. He said facts. Somebody said Paul's a false. I know what you're saying, Benjamin. But look, again, Torah. Paul's not Torah, but Torah's Torah. You gotta get that Torah, heavy Torah understanding. But and I moved to say I got a heavy Torah understanding. I haven't been brushing up on it like I used to where I was airtight with Torah and all that. And I'm gonna tell you why I haven't, because I'm like, dang, the basic biblical stuff it says. The basic biblical stuff, like, be humble, be slow to speech, this, that, other, all the basic stuff. How it says to operate your household. Uh-oh. How it says for your woman to be in and all this stuff. And what you find when you do the basics and you do the mental work, you get on the spiritual battleground of your mind, and you start to wage war on you in the spirit for your mind, all the other scripture really falls into place. Okay? It really gets in line and falls into order and takes on a whole nother meaning. When you've overcome pornography addiction, or you've overcome a drug addiction using Yah, getting deliverance, when you've gotten spirits cast off you, and you like Neo in the Matrix, that thing was real. Then you really begin to walk in the spirit and get a true biblical understanding. Okay? But if you just sit there and study knowledge, if you just kind of, if you just memorize for knowledge and you're just seeking knowledge and you really not getting that true spiritual heavy understanding for what it's pointing you to of getting your mind right, it ain't gonna be there. There's gonna be, there's gonna be people there that got all this knowledge about what's going on, but a lot of people studying about our captivity and asphyxiated on that and what these other nations did. But why'd they do it? Because we didn't have a change of heart. Why'd all this stuff befall us? Why'd our mantle being a nation of king of priests, and that's what he had promised us, why was that taken away? Because what? Not because we didn't memorize history. We just was wicked in our hearts. So that's what it all come down to. That's what this whole thing's about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all. So that's why spiritual combat is called spiritual combat, because we banging on spiritual combat. Now I've been, I study end time stuff and all that, but look, I ain't gonna sit there watching the end times and worrying about that when I ain't ready for the end time. Most High be done come back and I ain't ready. It's like, because as I see all this stuff happening, I've actually shifted gears and I'm more adamant about getting my life right, getting my house in order, taking the time to get everything in order here in the house. My family, get my children prepared according to what the book say. Dude, I ain't got time to be studying a whole bunch of stuff, Yeah, I'm going to get it. I got you, Ben. I've been busy in a good way, laboring, doing this, battleground of the mind, And like I said, what's in the word has provided plenty of information that I need to wage war in this in my mind. Even Benjamin, even what Paul says, it's a vital asset in spiritual combat when you're dealing with spirits, when you're dealing with spirits of addiction and spirits of lust and all these other spirits of bitterness, because you have a lot of people, they've been molested, they've been raped, they've been dogged out by men and stuff like that. And dealing with all that, that is when Paul's stuff begins to meet the road and make sense. When you're just sitting there analyzing it mechanically, you're going to wrestle with it. It's going to be like, well, oh, he's contradicting himself here, But if I told somebody, explain to me how to ride a bike, oh, they're going to be like, okay, you got to lean this way, but you push the handlebars that way, and then when the bike starts to fall this way, you push the handlebars the other way, and then you pedal it, and then you got to wiggle your butt to keep it going straight. And it's like, dude, you're contradicting yourself. But until you get on there and ride the bike, then it makes sense. That's what trying to explain with people with the spiritual side and get an understanding of Paul. You can read into anything and find little inconsistencies. I don't know. But I'm going to check it out. Somebody put, what would you do if you were trying to join to the saints and they reject you without a reason? I asked if I did anything and they said no, but you are acting funny. Yeah, if folks acting funny and they're not telling me what's up, poof, I'm gone. I've seen that type of thing before. Believe it or not, let me tell you this. A lot of places act that way, you know. I've encountered that a lot because they want to appear righteous and holy in a Catholic Hebrew way. So they subtly manipulate and push you off instead of just, boom, hey, don't do this, boom, boom, boom. We don't like that, boom, boom, boom. Like the Bible says. The Bible says if you got an issue, deal with them straight up. That's how I operate. But Catholic Hebrewism says use cunning, guile, and manipulation to subtly push them away and look holier than thou. You know? So that's probably what you got going on there. Okay? And what I do is keep it moving 100. Like when I see guile and manipulation, done. You understand? Like Heat. Robert De Niro in Heat. You know, you got to be willing to leave anything when you see the feds come, like, or whatever he said. He said he willing to leave anything, boom, when he see wickedness in it. That's just wickedness. Because what you find as you read through this Bible, there is no vagueness or ambiguity in it. It's just very concrete. It's not abstract. It's very straight and simple. Catholicism is abstract, it's confusing, it's vague, it's manipulative, it's not clear. That's why I be calling these mugs Catholic Hebrews. Okay? All right, let's see what you put. Great analogy, brother. Try to explain counter steering. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, counter steering. Yep, that's what it's called. Koya said, dust off your feet and keep it moving. Yeah, you work your salvation out with fear and trembling. You know? It's not a game, man. This thing permanent. They want to be righteous and not right. Righteousness is keeping Torah. Now, they just want to look righteous. Yeah. They want to look righteous and not right. Yeah, exactly. So, thank you, brother. They realize your spirit is different from theirs. Yeah. And if somebody's spirit is off, I'm gonna tell it. And look, and people who are around me all the time, they'll tell you. Ask people who are close to me. I have no problem with uncomfortable conversations. Let's get it. Let's not leave anything vague. You know. All right. So let's see. Thank you. They realize your spirit is different. Why are so many assemblies allowing the women to dress in tight clothing and not addressing it? Because children are their oppressors and their women rule over them. They got puppets. You know, they puppets. And look, dude, at the end of the day, man, dudes is soft as hell, dude. Like, dudes have been trained to not be warriors, you know? Like, it's a sin to say, look, you ain't going out the house with that shit on. As a matter of fact, throw that shit away. With your, you know, like, I'm so evil. It's like, you know you got a big ass. You're not wearing that. And it's like, oh, now I'm this wickedest person in the Hebrew community. Because I'm saying, our sisters got big asses. Make sure you cover that thing up. That is literally one of the wickedest things you could say among the Catholic Hebrews. That will get you a unsubscription rate like never before seen. I'm telling you. Man, y'all don't know, man. Y'all don't know. Believe me. But that, what Kodesh put there is, yeah. And brother, let me say this. When you see that, that is a big sign to do an about face. I mean, because when you look at the Indian, when I say Indian, I'm talking about the Indians from India. When you look at Middle Eastern people, when you look at these other nations, they have their women in order. You know, there's a standard. All right, so look, it says get your blood flowing, clearing, and helps in combat. Yep, because they're whores and false. And I ain't gonna just say the women are whores. It's just there's no leadership. They're not doing what the books say. They there for the money. They hustling. So if you keep the women happy, you know, people in the religious establishments, I'm not going to name the person. There's a person who said, you know, you got to keep that money coming in. So you got to keep the women happy. You can't come at them like that. And I was like, I'm going to have to get the hell up out of here. I like, cause that didn't even feel good hearing it. But I was told that, and I ain't gonna put it out there. You know who said it. You know. All right. That's all right. Yeah. So, yeah, man. But you know, when you see something from the very beginning of the book where it's women, it involves the women, and it's all through the book, don't think you're not gonna see it manifest today in the Hebrew community. Somebody said it's called respect. We as women do not supposed to wear enticing clothing. Exactly. And I've done lessons on this. I probably need to do one very soon on women wear that to attract men, or they claim they don't. But let's put it 100 then. Even if you're not wearing it to attract men, it attracts men. It gets attention, and women like attention. Like if you take attention away from most of these women, it like kills them, and they like that negative attention. Okay, I'm not saying don't give women attention, but they like it. It makes them feel it's a lust in their flesh, just like you lust to look at. That big old booty looking like two pistons going up and down when they're walking, you know, they lust for you to be watching them pistons go up and down like that, okay? But what I make them realize is what these women do is they attract the lusty men. The wise, righteous men are like, oh, she dressed like that? I don't want no woman like that. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Lusty, he'll be like, hey, Shalom, sis. Hey, you want to do a Bible study? She'll be like, sure. You know, and then study they do, but it's not Bible study, it's anatomy, you know. So, and then they get on there, all men are dogs. No, you just attract dogs. Because you got kibble, you wearing a kibbles and bits outfit, you know. Oh, you know, but they don't get it. They silly. A lot of these women is silly, you know, and the men silly and simple. And then they can't figure out the dude, man. They're going, somebody posted this thing. It's this black dude going to prom, and the girl is thick, got on this tight outfit. And the dude's face like this. He not looking at her. He gazing off, thinking about something. They like, dude, calculating that child support right now. That's how these dudes be, man. They lust. They ain't did no winter. They ain't banging that in that battleground of their mind, man. And that's where the war is at. So, yeah, so you got to bang on that battleground that's in your mind. You got to go to war there, man. That's where the battle starts, or else you're going to be in you're going to meet the wrong woman, or you're going to be a woman. You ain't dealt with that pride, and you showing off your body, and you're going to attract the worst dudes. The dudes who, you know, why all men like butts? No, you just got your butt out, and you attract men who like butts, you know. It's like, and these silly women, they can't put two and two together, you know. But a woman who got herself all covered up, playing it low key, that dude who is wise and he just watching and just in the background just kind of looking, he gonna see her. He gonna get his attention, the wise, righteous dude. And she gonna attract him and she gonna be good the rest of her life. All right. Simple and plain, just like random use of weapons can bring untimely death, but a woman dressed as that can bring untimely birth. Yeah. Yeah. Keys to the nation. And this is the other thing. Like you could, cause see with me, I'm like most women, I could disqualify them within less than a second. It's like, okay, she got a weave in her hair. She trying to wear a dress, but that thing is still showing them hips. Like she not erring to the side of caution. She trouble. Boom. But most dudes, that lust overcome them, that lust start talking to them. Oh, well, maybe she just need a Bible study. That's how them dudes be. So let's see. Somebody said the lustful demon is definitely a problem among both sides. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's why I said folks gotta have to get honest with themselves. You know what I'm saying? All right. Somebody, Koya put 2 Timothy 2:9. In like manner, also the women adorn themselves in modest apparel. And if a woman has to say, "Oh, this is modest," it ain't modest. You don't want me to get all graphic because I will have y'all in tears on here. But trust me, if they gotta say that, it ain't modest. Don't buy. It's like I delete so many people on social media. It don't even make sense. I thought women wanted more attention and feelings. Men is full of testo. Talking about testosterone. He's visual. Yeah. And women, a lot of these women are not. Look, and folks will get mad about this, but I'm just being 100. If you're a woman, you're stupid. And you're not thinking if you go out and you got your body showing because now you got a guy and you really don't know why he's coming up to you. Is it because the dress was so banging and his lust demon is literally manifesting through him and that's who I'm talking to? Dude come up to you, "Shalom, sis." And she's like, "Oh, shalom, is everything okay?" "Yes." You ain't even talking to him. The demon done pushed them into the sunken place, and you talking to a daggone lust demon up in that mud. Anyway, y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Just go look around. You'll see them. This thing is widespread, man. And all it's showing you is, hey, I haven't went to war in my mind. And the dudes tripping. Hey, man, what happened, man? You know what the book says about, running up in this strange puss. So why you... Oh, yeah, I was walking and I tripped and I fell up in that thing. It just happened, man. I made a oopsie. Yeah. No, it's this. This didn't happen. Battleground of the mind. They wasn't in the mind doing this thing right here. That's it. Period, point blank. Plain and simple. You see them women walking around like that? They ain't in no battle in their mind. They ain't dealing with the battleground of their mind. Period, point blank. That's what I'm saying, man. Ain't nothing new. This thing is straightforward. Now, the battle could be it's wrestling. It's intense. But you just see somebody who don't want to fight. They're not fighters. They ain't soldiers. They ain't warriors. Yeah, man. So anyway, y'all, what time is it? Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Let's see what song we're going to take this out with. Yeah, there we go. So, Yeah, we're gonna take this out with a jam for y'all, man, and go to war. In the upcoming lessons, we're gonna go into this more meticulously, just to equip you to be able to begin really engaging doing the war and doing the battle. Let's see. All right, there we go. So, oops, I didn't mean to hit that. Yeah, so definitely, we're gonna get it, man. Like I said, we're gonna break this down. If y'all got any questions, email me. My email's right there in the comments. So if you got any questions or anything you want me to cover in the next show, email me. Y'all been doing that. Appreciate y'all support. Like I said, we got a lot of moving parts going down here right now because we trying to come out of this thing spiritually and literally. So y'all pray for us to stay engaged, stay effective and efficient, and energized, and keep moving forward. And appreciate all y'all tuning in. We're gonna take this out with me and the Most High. Okay. So let me get this up and going. All right. So with that said, I'm going to take it out with me and the Most High. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Shalom, shalom.
Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. 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 Yeah, me and the Most High. I'm so low. My walk on that road is me and the Most High. I'm so low. My walk on that road is me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. 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 Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Father, who art in heaven? What it take to keep you from us? Just a little leaven. Spread the gospel through the hood. Doing it through rapping. Feel just like me and God trapping souls. Bringing the truth to the people, telling what they never been told. You sitting on gifts you were giving and doing nothing with them. I swear that you niggas is bold. It's bad that you know. I know that some of you think that I'm playing with completion. I'm not. I'm ready to drop. Been whipping the work in the studio, serving it out to the block. Kwam, rah. Tried to live life on my own and I found that it's not what I thought. A place to a higher, but Hashem Yeshaya, my soul not for sale, it was already booked. I'm ready for y'all to stop trying to stop busy trying to say he's wicked when really he not. It's really a plot for Judah to wait you in the dark to try to come take what you got. Woo, listen, the truth hit hard, harder than a gamble. Better be known as a saint than your favorite rapper. Michael Jackson bad, no melodrama. Random, but it's still just me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. I'm so low. My walk on this road is me and the Most High. I'm so low. My walk on this road is me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. 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 Me and the Most High.
Solo, rolling 4 deep, we're rocking Yasha in my OG. I feed the flock to lose no sheep, yeah, no sheep, no Lil Bo Peep. X5 and 29, I choose the father over man every time. Like coke addicts, I drop heavy lines, no word, all actions, pantomime. They said I never seen a Judah with a flow like that. I said I never seen a Judah with a glow like that. He gave me seeds that I never seen grow like that. Track 5 bars, gas about to blow like that. I'm good, am I lonely? I let the father to build up my team. I go where he shows me. I need no blind guy to show me. Matthew 15, verse 14, he told me to just let them be. They strain at necks and swallow camels when they should be following me. Woe to them, yes, swore not, cause time soon come when it goes down. He came with a sword not to bring peace. Cinderella at midnight, I must leave. I struggle for a minute, I was Judah straight coasting. Shine when I rhyme, but a Judah ain't boasting. The Bible I pick up, I fall and I get up. Got living water that I swallow for hiccups. Let that marinate. I will rock with me, myself, and I live life like I'm fasting. I need nothing, just me and the Most High.
Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High.